you never know when you will need to advise another person. You'll be a counselor of your own kind after sitting down before our facilitators, and we're really learning a lot from here. So allow me to call, I think 101 is a good number. Allow me to call the Dean to help us begin the session. Mrs. Sarah M. Biamkama, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Tawera. Let me take this opportunity to welcome everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. In a special way, we would like to welcome our facilitators, Reverend Canon Dr. John Senyonyi and Reverend Canon Dr. Ruth Senyonyi. Yeah, you inspire us in very many ways, young men and young ladies. Even just looking at the names of our facilitators, these people have read the books and they serve God in the church. Yeah, and they are still together. I believe Dr. Ruth will also probably tonight remind us how long they've been together as husband and wife to inspire us. There are many things I used to hear when I was a university student in Makerere University very many years ago, but those things formed my mind about many things. They formed my value system. They would influence things I would pray for, things I literally would ask God for to see happen in my life. So I know that as they speak to us, young people, it is an opportunity to pick a leap from all aspects of their lives. You know, even just being excellent presenters, you can tell they really prepare. Those are all good things to emulate. So tonight our session is on etiquette, and Dr. Ruth Senyonyi will be presenting. We welcome you so much, Dr. Ruth, and we believe that we are going to be blessed. Tawera, I'm thinking that if Professor is in the house, probably he will lead us in prayer. So mine was to really welcome everybody. We are glad to see you, and just remember to keep your gadget muted so that we don't distract our presenter. Over to you, Tawera. Justin, if Prof is not yet in the house, then probably you can lead us in prayer.
Okay, thank you. I see Professor is in the house. Professor, you're welcome to give us the opening prayer for the session.
Okay, let's pray. Father in heaven, thank you once again for this opportunity to sit down and learn from you as you speak through Canon Dr. Ruth Senyonyi. And on a very important topic, which is etiquette. We know, Lord, that the Bible says that, yes, you grew up in stature and also in favor with man and God. And that favor with man simply means that, yes, you had very good relationships with people, and you behaved well, you talked well, you conducted yourself in an honorable way. And Lord, yes, we also want to learn about how we conduct ourselves honorably, whether we're speaking on phone, or whether we're talking in public, or whether we are eating, or whether we are walking or driving. Lord, we want to know how can we do this honorably with etiquette for the glory of your name. And so pray that you may speak through Dr. Ruth, and that we may be attentive, and whatever we hear, we shall put into practice, so that, yes, we are people of character and also people of etiquette. We pray that you may use her, and that, yes, we may also listen to her. We also pray that our gadgets will work well and that the internet will hold. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Doctor. I don't know, Tawera, were you inviting me, or should I go ahead and...
You are most welcome.
I think I missed a step.
No, you're most welcome. We actually missed you. Last week, I've seen people saying welcome back in the chat. We're happy to have you. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for welcoming me back. I have some
You are
chocolates.
invited, Dr. Senyonyi. You are invited to speak.
Thank you very much.
That is part of etiquette.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm
We
sorry I
kindly
shouldn't have
invite
done
you to
that. I'm going to
speak.
speak about that.
No, it should be me.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I'm also excited to be here today. I had a long trip. It was nice, but it was tiring. I have some chocolate for those who can come here in the next 2 days. You can eat some. Otherwise, by the time you come later, it will be finished. So today we want to look at etiquette in the 21st century. I think Sarah asked me to tell you about how long we've been married. Maybe John can open up his video so that you see him. This man that I married, Darren, can you open up?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
There he is.
I'm here.
We sit in different rooms because of the echoes, so I'm able to speak without interruption. But that man married me 38 years ago, and we thank God for that marriage. We keep thanking God each and every day for bringing us together. It was divine how we met, how we are together. And between us, we have 4 children, 4 adult children. Sarah is our firstborn. She's married to Arthur. They've been married for the last 13, right, Darren? 13 years.
Yes.
Yes, and they have 4 children, Sinza, Tenda, Muganzi, and Chirabo. Then we have John Paul, and is married to Elena. They've been married for, remember, 5 years. 5 years. Yeah. So they have 2 children, Anaya and Sabelo. Then we have the 3rd child is called Benjamin Senyonyi. He's married to
Darling, John Paul and Elle have been married for 8 years.
8 years.
In January, it will be 9.
I'm glad I have a mathematician in my house, a statistician. He always is right with figures, so I bank on that. And Benjamin and Anita have been married for slightly 2 years now.
Over 2 years. Over 2 years.
Yes. And they have a little girl who is called Ainza Leona. Then our last born is Matthew. Matthew, for now, works in Germany. He's there. So that's us. Yeah, 38 years of being together, and we love the Lord. Both of us accepted Christ in the same year, although we didn't know each other. And he went to Australia. I went to Makerere. He came for a holiday for like 2 months, and in the second week, he saw me, but me, I didn't see him. So those are our stories. And afterwards, we linked up, and now we are married. What a blessing. So etiquette is what I'm going to talk about. Let me first begin by introducing what etiquette means and where it came from. It's actually a French word, and it means ticket. Usually there is a label that is attached to something that identifies it. Like now when I was traveling to the US, they put something on my suitcase to identify it and where it is going. So they used to put these kind of signs. If there was a party in a big piece of land, to tell you eating here, restaurant here, toilet here. So those were things that were giving you descriptions and identifications. And it goes on to say that it could also be written protocols describing behavior demanded at that place, that when you come in this place, what are the rules that guide the things that we are doing here? There are very many descriptions, so I'll go right through them so that it gives you a big picture. Proper behavior in line with cultural norms. Normally, this etiquette is in line with whatever is happening in your country. When I was doing my PhD, I had to do a paper on diversity. So I wrote a paper of a time I was flying from Uganda to the US and just noticing what the differences were and how things were being done, especially in terms of greeting. So the first flight was with some, I think there were people from Ethiopia. And so I sat next to this guy. I was at the window, he was in the middle, and then he had a friend who was in front of him. But every time he talked to me, he would touch me. He would touch me. And at first I was like, this guy, why is he touching me? I mean, I don't know him. And then I realized that even when he was talking to his friend in front, he also touched him. So I noted that for my diversity paper. And I said, these guys, these African guys love touching. And we do. You know, you are talking to someone and you laugh and you touch each other. That is behavior that is in line with the cultural norms. Now, as I went further and further into the different countries, because I went to Amsterdam, then from Amsterdam, I went on to the US, and the touch was becoming non-existent. Nobody would look at me, nobody would touch me. In fact, they would try as much as possible not to let anything, you know, touch me. So that was just in line with their cultural norms. And then another definition is rules. So you can say protocol, you can say labels, you can say tickets, you can say rules that indicate the proper way to behave. Many times these rules are not written, but they should be acceptable. So sometimes they are also called systems. What is the system of rules and conventions that regulate that behavior? It might be social, it might be professional behavior. So you find that even in homes, you have a system that works. Many people come to my office and I tell them there seems to be no system in your home. So things are running apart because there are no systems. What do the children expect from you? When do you come back home? When do they sleep? When do they eat? So that kind of behavior is sometimes unsaid, but it has to be there. What do we do? How do we talk to our parents? All those things are there. And then another definition is navigating life smoothly. You need to be able to navigate through life smoothly. So when you go to a new country, that's why they say, do as the Romans do. And then ground rules. What are the rules? What are the ground rules? Many times when we are playing a game, when we are doing icebreakers in a workshop, or when we are coming into a new class, we say these are the ground rules. No phones, maybe switch them off, put them off, things like that. So when there are no ground rules, things get out of hand. And then another definition is helping others feel at home, comfortable. So sometimes this whole thing is not really about us, but it's about other people around us. How comfortable are they? Are they feeling at home? Are they okay? So now I found a very interesting, as I was doing some research on this, I found some very interesting, but I think it brings out what I really wanted to say, that etiquette can be described in two ways. The first way is the how. And that how has things like manners, you know, say please, say thank you, say I'm sorry. It has rules, the do's and the don'ts. It also has systems. What are the policies? In Bank of Uganda, where I used to work, there were policies. I'm sure I know ECUREI, you have policies that have been lined up. You have a manual, an HR manual that shows you that this is what is supposed to happen. If you don't pay fees, this is what happened. What are the regulations? And also protocols. Who does what, who sits where, what happens when, and all that. Those are protocols. And these kind of the hows evolve with time. So you find that the French in the 16th century, do not behave the way they behave now in the 21st century. Ugandans do not behave the same way. The millennials do not behave exactly the same way as the people who are much older, because etiquette evolves with the culture. Then the second thing about etiquette, the first is the how, and the second is the why. So there's the how you do the etiquette, but there's also a reason below everything. So the other one evolves, this one remains. You might add some more, but the three that were talked about were three. Respect, we do them because we want to respect. Secondly, we are considering others. And thirdly, out of honesty. So I'm going to go through those three so that we understand them. One, respect, recognizing each other's worth and value. So I've gone from Uganda. I know this guy is touching me, but I also want to respect him. He's valuable, he's worth, so I'm not going to hit him. You know, I could easily slap him. Why are you touching me, mister? But I don't do that because I'm recognizing that he is worth something and he is valuable. So regardless of background, regardless of race, regardless of tribe, regardless of what you believe, the creed, the religion that you are in, you're supposed to respect each other. That is underlying every piece of etiquette that we are doing. Then refraining from demeaning other people's ideas and opinions. You know, many times in marriage, I say there's a level in communication which tells you that I have my ideas, my opinion. I can give an example that my husband might want to take the children to Germany and I want them to stay in Uganda. We had that situation actually with our son. My husband wanted to take him to Germany. I said, no way, he's 19. He's not going to Germany. He's staying here. So there was that, this is my opinion, this is your opinion. But I can't demean his opinion. So I opened my ear and said, why do you want him to go to Germany? And, you know, they sat together and came up with the ideas of why they wanted it. And I also put mine down. I want him to stay in Uganda because he's young. He's going to go out there and become something I don't understand. So refraining from demeaning other people's ideas. It could be political, it could be cultural, it could also be religious, okay? So not being tribalistic, not being racist, not being sexist. You know, these days there are a lot of things around. This person has become a woman. In fact, I saw one and I was like, oh my goodness, one who is dressed like a woman, but is actually a man. I saw him coming out of the women's bathroom, and I'm like, this guy is not a woman, he's a man. So, but I mean, you can't stop him from doing that because for him, he believes he's a woman. So there are sexist things happening around the world, and they bring a lot of prejudice to us. So here in Uganda, for example, the tribalistic thing is quite big, but we are saying, please be respectful. We even have names for people who are coming from somewhere else. You know, if they don't come from my small area, we start being, you know, why, you know, why is he speaking like that? Why is he doing that? They are not supposed to do that. Don't marry from there. Don't talk to them. And, you know, racist. But it's important to be open-minded. So this underlies everything that we are doing. And all the examples I'm going to be giving have to have some kind of respect in there. But it also includes self-respect. How much do you respect yourself? Because the more you respect, it affects how you talk, it affects how you dress, it affects how you interact with others because you respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, you find yourself naked on the streets. You know, there are some parks in the Western world where you can actually go take off your clothes and be naked. You know, yeah, those are the different things that are so different from us, which we wouldn't do here. This is a verse. It says, brothers and sisters, we ask you to respect those who are working with you, those who are leading you, and those who are instructing you. So those are instructions. So when it comes to things like How much do you respect your teachers? Some of you want to fight your teachers. Some of you think they are stupid. You actually tell them they are not thinking, they are not using their heads, you know, but they're telling you respect is one of the things that make up etiquette. The second thing is to do with consideration. Considering others implies that you have empathy for another person. It implies that there is thoughtful behavior, that you are thinking about others and how your actions will affect them. If I speak too loudly now, how will it affect my neighbor? If I speak on the phone, how will it affect my neighbor? If I'm driving and I'm making comments, what will it do? If I tell lies, and what will it do to them? And it also leads to offering appreciation and praise. For example, if you're walking through the school or you are walking through the hospital and you find someone cleaning, what do you say to them? You're empathizing with them. Empathy really means that you put on their shoes for a few minutes and then you jump out of them. This is what we do in counseling. You jump into this person's shoes, test how it's like, jump out quickly. Thoughtful behavior. So you are like, sorry, I've made the place messy again after you've just cleaned. Say thank you. Thank you for the good work that you are doing. He's a toilet cleaner, but he deserves the thanks. That is consideration. The verses that I came up with, let each one of you not only look to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. And another one from Titus 3 says to speak evil of no one, to avoid quarreling, to be gentle, and to show perfect courtesy, perfect courtesy toward all people. That is amazing. Perfect courtesy. So the Bible, actually, the whole Bible as it is actually a set of some considerations. How you consider others. There are so many, I couldn't get through all of them, but if you read the Psalms, if you read the Proverbs, it's like they're telling you, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do that, respect. Then the third thing of the why is honesty. Honesty, telling the truth without embarrassment or causing pain to someone else. Because sometimes the truth is so clear, but it's going to cause embarrassment or it's going to cause pain to someone. So we also have to be watching how we say things out of love. When you're saying things out of love, you don't hit, you don't just put it there. You have to be careful. So being and acting sincere, so sincerity and authenticity and genuine with others. This puts the whole picture of integrity. That am I authentic? Am I being integral? Integral really means that you're bringing things together. Okay, so 2 Corinthians 8:21 says, for we are taking pains to do what is right, not only in the eyes of the Lord, but also in the eyes of man. So doing the right thing at all times becomes a very, very, very important thing. Okay, so these are the things that I came up with. I don't think it covers the whole list, but these are the types, and I'm sure there are others. Social etiquette, social media, phones and emails, all that in one line. Bathroom etiquette, wedding and parties etiquette, meeting etiquette, eating or dining, business, corporate, professional, at work, marriage and funeral. And I'm sure there are many more, but once you have those three things, and I want you to remember them, the three things that I've talked about: respect, consideration, and honesty. And these things do not change. Just like the Bible says, these are the three things and they do not change. And then the how is what normally changes, you know. That's why I said etiquette in the 21st century. What I learned from my mother is still respect, consideration, and honesty. But how to do them now is different because there is Zoom, there are mobile phones. So these things change, they evolve. So let's first look at work corporate etiquette. When you are going to work, dress code is important. Some people don't have a written dress code, but you are not supposed to be too revealing, breasts are out, bottoms are out, thighs are out, what. I remember one gentleman coming and telling me, we are sitting in this big office and this girl is sitting in front of me every day, but her thighs are out every day. How am I supposed to concentrate on my work? That was, he was very open about it. So I called the lady and I actually talked to her and she improved. You can put something around your legs if you are in an office that has open space, so that you are not too revealing. Gentlemen, these days you wear very, very tight trousers. They are small from the bottom, they are small at the top, and your imagination goes beyond what it should go. So not too casual or not too shabby. Some people are wearing jeans that have holes in them. You're going to work. You're going to work with clients, and guess what? You have holes in because that's the fashion. Now, if you're going to work, I think you don't need to be shabby. Then respect the privacy of other people. Don't go into people's computers when they are not there unless you have a shared computer. Don't go into their workrooms unless you knock. Don't go into their offices. Respect their privacy. Knock, call first. I'm coming to your office. Can I come now? Things like that. Can I have a meeting with you? Don't just walk in and say, I'm coming because I have to come, kind of thing. Avoid criticizing, backbiting, and making fun of colleagues. Managing your time. Do you see how all these things underneath here, we have respect, honesty, and consideration of others. Ensure confidentiality of the things at your workplace. Avoid drinking alcohol at your workplace. Avoid getting drunk. I mean, I've been in workplaces and you find that somebody comes and they are drinking their alcohol, and eventually they are getting drunk and become a menace in the whole place. Now, I put this here together with business because they are very related. Business meaning I'm doing some business with some other person, It's also work related, but there's many things up there. So upholding your company image is important, being professional. So professionalism becomes an important part of this whole thing. Teamwork, respect for shared spaces, the email and phone etiquette that I'll talk about later. Make engagements brief. Don't go on for a whole day you are engaging in a business meeting. No. Dining with other people, other professionals, be careful. Sometimes they're actually watching to see if they can take you up in their work, or can work with you because of that. Dress code is important. Listening, diplomacy, confidentiality. Okay, so those are similar to workplace, so I won't spend time with them. Bathroom etiquette. Now, some of these things we were taught when we were growing up, but some people do not have the opportunity. Some of you found these toilets here. You never had them at home. You have the other toilets that are pit latrines, because they also have their etiquette. When you go in that toilet, what do? Make sure you don't splash water. Don't wet the toilet seat. Don't wet that area. Find the place where the water is supposed to go and use it properly. Flush the toilet after use. Lock the door so that no one, opens it up for you. All this is what? Is consideration of others. All this is respect for other people. Don't peep under the door. You know how they ask, is there anyone? And then your head is going under to see whether there is somebody. Honestly, that is not nice. Wait your turn. You might knock a little bit and say, is there anyone in there? And yes. Avoid spitting on the floor. There are some cultures that spit. When they smell something bad, they spit. When you go to Dubai, I think now they have put some rules about spitting, because they used to be spitting everywhere. Now they have little places where you can actually go and spit if you want to. Now I put that little picture of squatting on the toilet, because some people are used to squatting in the outside bathrooms, and guess what happens? They come into these ones and they squat the same way. So sit on the toilet. And now in other countries also, I think it was Chicago Airport where I went, when you go in, there is a little plastic thing that comes and gives you a new lining for the new seat. And when you walk out, it moves away and a new lining comes out. So it is very clean. And if it's not there, there is also opportunity for getting a little piece of, it's a lining also. You take it out of the little bag and put it on the seat so that you can sit without thinking, where are the germs, okay? Or you can even, there is liquid that you can use. You get some toilet paper, you put on the liquid. It's all inside that toilet. And then you clean the place and then sit properly. Men also, you are advised to put the water in the right place, not all over. It can go everywhere. So bathroom rules are there. Leave it clean, use it quietly, no shouting. And there was a person who was speaking on her phone in the toilet, a whole conversation. She sat there the whole time and finished her conversation. We were at the airport and I was like, this is not right. Wash your hands also after that. So those are I'm sure there are more bathroom etiquette things, but I'm just giving you a little. Then we have social media etiquette. We'll begin with the phone. The phone might be a phone that is used in the office. It might be your phone at home. It might be your little personal phone that you have at home. So use a pleasant voice. Don't yell. Don't shout at people. Sometimes you don't know. You talk to someone. And you're like, no, don't yell. Don't shout. Start with a good morning and not with, who are you? What do you want? Do you know who I am? No, those are not polite. Okay. Okay. Avoid calling at odd hours or late nights. It doesn't matter whether you are in the US or in America or in China or whatever. Your time is your time. So use the time properly. Avoid odd hours, very early or late nights. Confirm if it's the person you want to talk to. So you can say, is that Professor Kawoyak? I would like to talk to him. And he'll say, no, you've got the wrong number. Don't say, wait. Some people say very bad words on the phone. Then if you are putting it on speaker, let the other person know that they're on speaker. Many times I'm in the car and maybe I am talking to a client. Sometimes I do talk to clients in my car while I'm driving. And I say, I'm in the car alone, you're on speaker, and everything is okay. There's no one listening to our conversation. If I have people in the car, I would say, sorry, I have a number of people in the car. I cannot speak to you right now. So then avoid loud conversations in public, in shops. You enter a shop, you have gone to buy something, honestly, and you are still on your phone. You are talking and you are in the shop. You are talking, a whole conversation. First, step outside, step aside, and finish your talking, or tell the person on the phone that, guess what, I'm just entering a shop, I'm entering the airport, I'm in a taxi, I will call you back later. Avoid playing music on loudspeaker in public. There are some people who walk around with their phone and they are dancing and the music is very loud, or I don't know, sometimes they're even listening to the news, but this is the public. So put on speakerphones or wireless bags. Avoid chewing and eating while on phone. That's another thing that people do. They are eating. It's like, whoa, please help me. Then we have email and internet. On your email, separate the business, the professional, and the personal. So that's supposed to be personal, and the personal mails. My son, who is an IT specialist, did that for me. So I have mails that are primary, mails that are whatever. So I have 3 sets of, so I know where they are. I can go there. Then when you are responding, avoid funny GFIs, Instead of text, you are sending funny things. Write text, use reply all sparingly. It might go the wrong way, especially some of us who had organization where when you send to reply all stuff, 1,000 people get your mail. So you don't want to send the wrong mail. Sometimes you can't recall it. Turn off the caps lock key. Many of you write things in caps, in capital letters, And capital letters actually implies that this is a rude mail. It is, I'm speaking very loudly. I'm telling you, you are this and this and that. So caps lock key, make sure you don't use it. Avoid illegal or porn sites and unacceptable photos on your phone. Okay, and then avoid bad mouthing others, because you don't know who is on the other side. I've had many instances where someone has put it on loudspeaker and then starts talking about the other person. And the other person they are talking about is right in front of them. So this one says, listen to what this one is saying about you. So you don't know who is out there listening to you. Says, oh man, yeah, this woman, she did this, can you imagine? And you might be even saying the truth, you might be telling lies, but it's not good to talk about people. Even when you've just got off the phone, sometimes you say, and you might forget that the person is still on the phone and you are bad-mouthing them. So bad-mouthing others is not respectful at all, at any one point. Then meeting etiquette, when you are going for a meeting, know what the meeting is about. Take a notebook or a laptop. Don't get there and say, Bambi, lend me your pencil. Please lend me your notebook. The same thing when you're going to class. Honestly, you're not supposed to be asking for, please, can you give me some papers from your notebook? So this one starts pulling papers for you from the notebook. And you're like, you left home. You are coming for a lecture. What didn't you know? You are coming for a meeting. So do not attend to phone calls during a meeting. Or you can excuse yourself and say, I need to take this phone, excuse me. You go outside the room, you talk, and then you come back. But some of you are like, you go under the desk. You are like, we can still hear you. We can, some of you don't go. You're like, I can still hear you. That is not polite. Okay. Then have an agenda. If you are the chairperson, have an agenda for the meeting. If you are the chair, be on time. Time for meetings is important. Avoid taking cups of tea. These days, the young people especially, they come from the office with their cup of tea. And, or their bottle. By the way, the new thing that I saw while I was coming back, everybody has a huge bottle of water, and they were refusing people to take them across through because they were putting them in their backpacks. They couldn't fit in the backpacks. They are big like this, and they are water bottles, and they are refusing them. So here you are attending a meeting with a big bottle like this in front of you. Honestly, go back to your desk, drink the water, come back. But a big bottle like this. And ladies are so good at that. They have pink, they have purple, they are coming with their bottles. No, that is not a good thing. Avoid turning the meeting into a casual rumor mongering session or a battleground. You come off from the meeting, and instead of talking about what the meeting has been, you're like, you see that girl, you see how she spoke, you see what happened to her, or a battleground. Now we go to Zoom. This is what we are on now. And, log in about 10 or 15 minutes early. And if you are not talking, mute yourself. Take the video off and don't talk. Only unmute when you have been given an opportunity to speak. Okay? Check and see what does your background look like. You can do that before you turn the video on. As you are getting into the Zoom session, it gives you an opportunity to look at the picture and how it will appear. Okay, so check your background, your environment, minimize distractions. You see how that person is dressed properly, because you might get up. Supposing I have to get up, you'll be able to see what I'm dressed in all the way to the back there. So be careful what you dress. Be ready, do your face, do your hair, so that if they tell you to put on the video, you can actually do that. My PhD, most of it was online. So there was a lot of, we had to put on our videos, okay? So you always had to, whether it was 3 a.m. in the morning, you had to not to be in a nightie. And I remember one of our teachers, when we were graduating, told us that the funniest moment in a Zoom meeting, a class meeting, was when the wife of one of the classmates passed behind, not dressed, totally naked. You know how you are in your house? And she was in the bedroom, and she passed by behind, naked. Said she's never forgotten that. So we don't want to have people passing behind you when they are not dressed. So dress properly and avoid eating, drinking, or smoking. I see a lot of laughter here, but these are the things you do. Even here, sometimes we are speaking and then someone is like, "Gwe, get on the taxi, and I'm thinking, you're not supposed to be heard. What is going on, whether you're taking a taxi? So be careful about your mute stuff." Okay. So social culture etiquette, that's why I called it what I called it. These are social behaviors between family, friends, and colleagues, as well as strangers, in order to coexist. Okay, so the way we do things in our culture, that's what we call that social culture etiquette. How we greet. For example, for us in Buganda, we kneel down. Then you hear somebody saying, "Sure, why do we kneel down?" We kneel down, why? Because we are being respectful. Remember the respectful there that I talked about? Then the Bachiga hug, that's the way they greet. They are also being respectful. So hugging, how close you get to someone is very dependent on the social culture way. How you touch people. There are people who don't like, women and men do not touch. In our culture, for example, my son-in-law, I'm not supposed to hug him, hug him, hold him as if, no, that is not allowed. And for respect of other people around me, I don't do that. It's not that I can't hug him, but it is not part of our culture. Speaking, when do we speak? To whom do we speak? How do you speak? When you're speaking to an elderly person, you need to know how I speak. You're supposed to speak in a certain way. Walking, sometimes I would make my children come back, walk properly, go back and walk properly. Or if they bang a door, that one, you do not bang a door behind you when I'm talking to you. So they remember that. You do not do that. You're supposed to close the door properly. So if they bang, say, "Mommy, sorry, I did it by mistake." I said, "Well, come back and do it again. Do it properly." So I was kind of the disciplinarian here. My husband is not a disciplinarian, even though he looks like he's the tough one who will do what. I was the one who was giving them so that they can do these things properly. Kneel down, greet in the morning, greet in the night, say good night. This is how when you are talking to me, you don't say, "Yeah." When I call you now, let me tell you this one. My granddaughter now speaks like my daughter. So they wanted to confuse me. So she called me and said, "This is Sarah." And I said, "Oh, then I said, "Are you okay?" Then she said, "Yeah." Then I said, "That is not Sarah." Immediately. He said, "No, Mommy," because she said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah," because I did not allow you to say, "Yeah." You are not supposed to say, "Yeah." You're supposed to say, "Yes, Mommy." Yes, properly with a mommy at the end. Mama wange ngachita ngotekako enva togamba bugambi nti "Yeah." Ugamba nti "Yes, Mama." You add the soup. So all those things that you have had, those are the things you should be doing. So what do? You be polite, you be nice. You greet people around you. When you are walking, you say hello. You avoid talking to people with bugs in your ears. You are composed. Don't lose your cool. Even if someone is doing such, so many things. This goes into driving. Somebody makes you mad. Somebody knocks you. You want to come out and beat them. Don't lose your cool. That is the social culture etiquette. When you have gone to visit someone, maybe you are coming to visit me, bring me a piece of bread, bring me a milk. People come here, Bambi, and bring many things. They bring a pineapple. So take something, okay? Then there are people who use these endearment words. "Hello, honey." I'm not honey. Who are you? I don't know you. How are you calling me honey? "Hello, darling." I am not your darling. Okay? So don't use those sweetheart words to people who are not close to you. Save them for your husband, for your wife, for your children. Okay, do your best to keep time. Learn to wait your turn. Now, many times when we are on a plane Unfortunately, there are people who want to get by. They are pushing with their luggage. They are jumping over you. They want to get to their seat. Say, wait, this person is putting their luggage up in the luggage place. Wait for them to finish. Then they sit down, then you pass. The plane is not going to go without you. Same thing with a taxi. Wait for the person in front of you to go. Then you sit. Border, don't take somebody else's space of parking. All those are etiquettes, okay? Open the door of the person behind you. This was my dad. My dad would always say, after you. In fact, we used to laugh whenever I would go to the airport to pick him up. He would be the last person on the plane. And we are there joking, said, Daddy is saying, after you, until everybody is finished on the plane. Then he's the last one to come out. He was very kind. He was a very kind person. Then we go to dress code. Dress code, people. Dress code. Whether you like it or not, there is a dress code for everything. School, where you work, whether it is written or unwritten, it is there. So avoid clothes that are too revealing. Avoid tight trousers. I think I've already said that. But the important thing is dress for that occasion. Dress professionally at work all the time. I did that with Bank of Uganda. We were very professional. You had to have a coat, you had to have, and I did that for 22 years. In fact, when I retired, I almost had no clothes that were casual. Avoid heavy jewelry. You are going to work and your jewelry is falling down to everywhere. It's from here to here. You have something in the nose, you have something, you have 10 rings, that's not professional. You can do that when you are going to the beach. Then try color coordination. Remove sunglasses. There are people who have sunglasses even inside. I don't know why. You should take them off. Then we go to weddings. Don't bring an extra person when you are invited. If they are not invited, don't come with them. Some of you go with drivers. Some of you go with, my sister, come with me to the wedding. She's not invited. The card says one person and you are taking two. And they booked food. And these days food is 120,000 a plate. Honestly, don't take an extra person. Keep them outside. If you have a driver, give them money to go and look for food. They are not invited. If you have a babysitter, let them sit outside and find food before you reach the wedding site. If you have a visitor, you are going and say, oh, visitor, we are going to a wedding. Can I come with you? Oh, sorry, you can't come with us. If you come with us, you sit outside. Do not distract professional photographers. Some of you become professional photographers using your phones. You are right in the middle and you are distracting the photographer and you are making the photos of the wedding not look nice because you are always in them. So avoid also you as a person who is doing the wedding or doing the baby shower, asking for money. Give me cash instead of. Give me cash instead of. No, you are not allowed to do that. Then when you are disappearing or when you are going early from a wedding or from an event, at least let your host know that you are going to leave early so that it is not something like a disappearing act. Then always learn to say thank you on your phone, leave a thank you note, leave a text or something. Then we go to funerals. My goodness, the time has gone. Let me run. I'm almost done. Funerals, dress appropriately. There are some of you who come from work and you have this very short skirt and you are coming to a funeral. Honestly, that is not nice. Put into your bag something that you can wear or that you can cover around it, or a scarf that when you are seated, you don't cause trouble. They look at this one. What has she come for, really? How can she come dressed like that? Avoid taking over the crying from the family. I put that in just as a joke. But some people cry more than the people who are bereaved. Avoid gossip about family affairs of the deceased, because sometimes you are sitting somewhere and you are hearing all the history. This guy, he has 10 wives, he has that one, this is that child is, he raped that one and then he got this one. Oh my goodness. So try to avoid that kind of gossip. Stay off your phone, follow the vigil guidelines, because these days they say the person has died today, but please don't come to the house until Wednesday. Then many of you are like, we are going. So what are you going to be doing? They told you don't come and you are coming. So follow the vigil guidelines so that you don't become an inconvenience to the people. Dining etiquette. There are utensil guidelines, and there you see where everything is, and they say work your way from outside to the inside. So number 5 fork is a seafood fork. So they say seafood, first deal with the seafood, then you go into the there's supposed to be a salad. I don't think it's included there, but salad, you eat the salad, come from outside. Then you go to the dinner and eat it. Then you go to the dessert. Number 10 there is dessert, and eat like that. So learn how to use forks and knives. Yeah, no one is going to teach you. You have to teach yourself. So how do you use the fork? How do you use the knife? Avoid gulping down too fast. No swankula. I didn't know how to put that in English. Or swankula, where you are talking, you are eating. No. And then don't talk with utensils. You know, you have a knife and a spoon, and you are there saying, he told me. Then he told me. Now the food is spilling all over. You know, you are talking with your knife. Put the fork down and then speak. Put the knife down. Okay, then do not place your bag. There is this business of people's bags as if they are like babies. The bag does not go down to the floor. They put it on the table. And there was a research that was done that bags of women have the most germs in the world, because guess what? They take them to the toilet, put them on the floor. They take them put them on the floor. And then now they are coming to eat. And what do? They put them on top of the dining table, where somebody else will come and also. So don't put your bags, your cell phones, your sunglasses on the dining table. Put them away. Put the bag down below you. If there's a chair that is extra, you can ask for a chair where to put your bag, not on the table. Now, in a restaurant, there are some people who feel that now they want to become waitresses or waiters. So now what happens? You finish eating, and then you are getting plates from everybody as if you are the waitress. So when you are in a public place of eating, leave your plate there. The waiter, the waitress will come and take the plate away from you. Don't do anything with that plate. Don't be creative. Just leave it there, and somebody will come and pick it up. Okay, now if it is your home and you are the host, it's okay. You can stack the plates and tell them, please give me your plate, give me your plate. Yeah, someone saying that they are also eating with hands. Yeah, you can even ask your host, can I eat with my hand? And if you eat with your hands, there are also etiquette things about eating with hands. You don't let soup go down like that. It's not allowed. And even when you are putting your food in your mouth, you don't put your whole hands in there. They used to beat us for doing that. Okay. So tips, be sure that you give the waitress a tip. Depending on how much you've paid, give them some little money. This is where they make their money. Then the last one is marriage etiquette. You know, I'm getting tired of people who are coming to me and they have no etiquette. They have no respect for each other. They are beating up each other. They are not nice. They are not kind. They are speaking badly. Hey, I like what Winnie said. Yeah, they used to say that they would beat your elbow because you are sitting badly. So marriage also has etiquette things. Establish a trust foundation. Don't tell lies. People are telling lies. Where were you? I was here. Now we have phones. People are sending videos of people, having dinner with somebody else. They will catch you. Don't tell lies. Tell the truth at all times. Keep your promises. You are making promises to each other as married people. Go home every day. That is trust. Communicate clearly. Then establish systems in your home, habits and things. When do you do things? When do you eat? Today we have actually eaten late, but normally we eat before this session. We eat at 7. We eat at 7:30. That is our normal. And it has been like that for many years. My daughter's home is like that. Very, very, very clear rules about when to bathe, when to watch television, when to use the phone, when, like that. Very clear. So make it clear. Establish those systems. Now we have phones and things like that. Then be proud of your spouse. Talk about your spouse every day, everywhere you go. The people in where I used to work, they know. My husband's photo is right there. So they ask, who is that? They no longer even ask because they know. My children, someone was telling us, namwe, mwogera nnyo ku family yamwe. But now if we don't talk about them, what are we going to do? We talk about our children. We talk about our grandchildren. Why? Because we are proud of them. We talk about ourselves because we are very proud of each other. Be open about finances. That's another area that needs etiquette. And then leave your father and mother, leave your exes, leave your friends, and go with this person whom you have chosen. Okay? Be committed and enjoy each other's company. Okay, I could go on and on, but now I need to say thank you for listening. Please go and think about those things, being true and honest to you, to yourself, being respectful of others, and being considerate. Those are the things that underlie whatever I'm saying here. So go and do that. Thank you so much. And God bless you.
Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful session. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruth. And my son was asking, Mommy, why are you laughing alone in there? So I kept on laughing. And I looked in the chat. I do not even know where to read from because I kept on seeing so much laughter, so many emojis. However, I took note of 2 questions. Somebody was asking that, is it wrong to call a married person, though they didn't specify whether it's attached to time, but they just asked whether it's okay to call a person who's married for work or work-related matters. I wish that maybe said, because somebody also asked, is it about the evening? What time, are you talking about? And then also we had another question. Somebody was saying, is it wrong to see something happening wrongly and then you don't correct it, you just watch? What do you do? I think this was in relation to different cultures and ethics. So I think the question was, is it wrong if you see somebody doing this, what do you do? Do you tell them that this is wrong? But I think differences in culture, it may be difficult for you to control another person. Maybe you can come in on those 2, Dr. Ruth, just before you go.
It's important to know that you need to respect a married person. So I will not be able to call Professor Kawoya at 11 p.m. He's a married man. I am a woman. He's a married man. I know him. He's my friend, but I don't call him at 11 unless it is an emergency. And I say, Professor, I'm dying. Please help me. I need to breathe. That I will do. But just saying, hello, Professor, how are you at 11 p.m.? Why? It can be misconstrued, whatever the word. It can be misconstrued. Okay, so let's be respectful. When you can even send a message and say, I would like to speak to you. Please let me know when I can call. Okay, and then they'll let you know that you can call in the morning. There was somebody who did that yesterday. He wanted to talk to me, but we had an online session that went on up to about 9:30. And so I sent him back a message and said, I'm in a session until 9:30. But if you want, you can call me at that time. I gave him permission. And then, but if not, you can call me tomorrow morning or send me a text about what you want to talk to me about. And he actually sent me a text. So be respectful. Then when you see something that is not correct, you always have to think of, who am I in this thing that I'm going to talk about? What is my relationship with this person? Or what is my role? Let's say, for example, on this Zoom, we are the facilitators, but we are not the owners. Okay, so if somebody is talking over me, I don't have the authority to say, "Wait, stop talking. Why are you talking when I'm talking?" You see? But the dean and Towera can actually do that, and they have the powers, I think, to either mute them or do whatever they are, or throw them out, or say. So it depends. You also have to look at what is my authority here. If I'm the headmaster, I can speak to the students. If I am a visitor, I may not have the exact powers to tell them off. Okay? If I'm in an airport and I see someone taking drugs, yeah, I don't have the authority to tell that person that, "Hey, what you are doing is wrong," because I don't know him. I don't have. But if it's my son, I will take him and give him a beating because he is my son. So let's be careful about, using our authority. We still have to be respectful of others and considerate. You see, it also comes in there.